Dan, Parramatta are last.
This is something that I did not expect. I had to sit and think about it, and I prepared a statement. LOL.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. We've had some big movement in Top Sport tips later as well, Dan.
Can't wait for that one.
Yes, we have. Now, this week, we're going to talk Origin.
Origin free zone.
I know Origin's coming up. That's the last time we will mention the word Origin.
Sweet.
Origin. But another great weekend of Rugby League, despite only having 5 games. Some great results. Some results that you and I weren't thinking could possibly happen. Let's start off with it. A historic showing up on the Gold Coast. They beat the Warriors 66 points to 6, the most points they've ever scored in a game. Any Gold Coast franchise. You're talking Seagulls, you're talking
Chargers.
Anything they've ever been called before. Biggest score for a South East Queensland team.
Wow.
Jaden Campbell scored the most points in a game for any
Insane.
Gold Coast team.
So good. See, 11 from 11, I heard.
Yeah, 11 from 11 and a try, and he did it with a broken hand.
Incredible.
Chances are he could
Still
be
wasn't
out this
man of the
weekend.
match, but
No, Kieran Foran, mate.
yeah, there was 2 more.
Father Time came at him, and he just
He's
keeps pushing him away. He's doing really well up there, but geez, were the Titans that good or the Warriors that bad, or was it a combination of both? Like,
Bit of both is the easy answer. I'm going to lean more towards the Titans were good.
they were on.
I saw so many people come out, and you know, everyone's negative because it's really easy and lazy and fun. Yeah. The Titans deserve a round of applause. If my knees weren't hurt from going to the gym today, I would stand and applaud the mighty Titans. I doubted them, Terry. I'm ashamed to say I doubted them.
Well, last week we both said that the Warriors were going to put 20 on them.
Yeah, and they didn't.
No.
They were terrible.
The Warriors are still playing now. I haven't scored 20.
I'll tell you what, Sean Johnson, not clutch.
No, not good either.
Drew a 1 on none.
Yep.
And threw the ball to Khan Pereira. His only try since coming back from injury, the other bloke ran 90 metres.
I was just about to say, is it time to have that chat with Sean Johnson? I know he was amazing last year, but he went out of the team and they went on a run that they shouldn't have gone on, and he's come back into the team and they're going on a run that they shouldn't have gone on. I think it's time. I think Sean hangs up the boots.
It is time. I think.
Hand the reins over tomorrow, March.
I wouldn't retire. I give him a week off and then give one more crack.
But I'm saying this year's the last year.
Yeah. It's just a shame to say, but yeah, I think Johnson's probably going to look at that performance this week and go, keeping some young talent out of the team, detrimental long term. I don't know where he's
and there's a lot more Sean Johnson shockers than good games.
Yeah, this year.
Recently,
definitely.
yeah. But look, it was really good day for Feeder. Looked like he had a massive point to prove.
He did.
Alofi Khan Pereira is just so much fun. Brian Kelly didn't score a try.
Didn't need to. So
No.
no one up.
No. Well,
Both Fermor.
yeah,
It was incredible.
And the other 9 was set up by Kieran Foran. He was so good.
What about young Kinney? I'll tell you what, this team, when they click, and they don't click often.
No. But, I mean, the most embarrassing try, like Chris Randall, sorry, gets the ball and just sort of jogs.
Just
next minute he's under the post.
Yeah. It was one that Warriors need to look at and say, this isn't us, or embrace the fact it's us, and release of Fanil Blake.
I went out at 18-0 because I was like, I can just go down the shops now. I'm not going to miss too much. But I thought, maybe if any team can come back and play a little bit of hot potato football and bust the line or whatever. Dear God, it was awful. Speaking of awful, the Canberra Raiders as well. We're talking about historic weekends. Going into this weekend, Tigers and Titans were last and second last.
Yep.
And just wow is all I can say.
I said something online earlier that if you said to me that the Titans and Tigers would be the 2 teams, and at the time it looked like they were both going to score 50. Of course, Tigers fell a couple of points short, but 48, I would have had you committed because you're not talking sense. I don't want to dwell too much on the fact that Canberra were bad, and they were. I want to talk about how good the Tigers were.
Before we go into this, if I had said to you this weekend, even as a joke, that combined the Tigers and Titans would score 114 points, you had every right to have me committed.
No chance.
The Tigers were on fire.
They were.
And they started off shockingly. until that intercept gets thrown. Lachlan Galvin on the next play scores, and from there it was just all the Tigers.
It was. The Canberra, the only time they looked good was when they had a man advantage.
Yep.
And they banged, I think, 3 or 4 quick tries.
Yep.
And you started going, ooh, and then Adam Dewey runs 90 metres untouched. Beautiful. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I've been pretty negative on the Tigers, and they deserve it. But days like this, you look and go, they are going in the right direction.
Yeah, look,
it's good to see.
They were good last week. They were good. They were excellent this week.
This win's more impressive because it wasn't at Leichhardt.
Yeah.
How many times you see them win at Leichhardt, come out next week and get flogged?
1,400 days since they had last one at Campbelltown.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
10 years since they beat Canberra at Campbelltown. Which
is absolutely ridiculous. This is
crazy start. Good fun though. Good on the Tigers.
Or maybe it was the 1,400 days since they last beat Canberra.
Whatever it was, they haven't won at Campbelltown in a long time.
That's awesome.
And I'm glad for the fans.
Yeah, look, the Tigers are slowly going in the right direction, and let's
jump in.
Let's talk about it right now.
Scotty's back.
Okay, we're going to talk about Scotty.
We have to talk about Adam Dewey.
Yeah, we'll talk about Adam Dewey.
That's Scotty.
14 months.
Yep.
No football. Nearly scored a try. I thought he'd scored. It was just a great.
Yeah, it was great tackle.
Jordan Rapana has his moments in games.
He does.
When he's not being a dog, he's actually a really, really good footy
player. But Rapana can pull off the greatest tackle of all time and then kick the ball out on the full by 15 metres within 2 plays.
Yeah.
Scotty.
But congratulations to Adam, back in the centres. Yep. Looked really, really good. Has his 1 year extension. Puts him in the shop window as well. Come November, he can start talking.
Very much he does.
And this is what he's probably looking at now. Towards the end of the year, if he can get a continuous run in the team playing good footy, he can go back to the Tigers and say, okay, look, let's extend 26 and 27. And if the Tigers don't want to, he's got his 1 year security and he can try and get more money elsewhere.
Plenty of options.
I still think he'd be better off going to Penrith, but that's just my opinion.
Well, that's obvious. But he late call up. Olam pulled out and Dewey was down to play New South Wales Cup. Came in and just had the game of his life. I love that he ran and scored a try. He outran KO Weech, who's a noted speedster, and then got to come off. And the crowd just Dewey. Just great scenes. Rugby league.
Yeah, he is a fan favourite of you and I.
Absolutely. 3rd ACL reconstruction. He comes back and does that.
And he's done an Achilles as well, I believe.
Yeah, he's had some horrible luck, but this guy's really good.
He's got it. He's a good footy player as well, and he just seems to be like a really, really good person as well. So, congratulations to him. Now sticking with the Tigers and the theme of the Tigers, we're talking about they're going in the right direction. Clearly, at the moment, their best young prospect that they have is Stefano Utuikamanu.
Yep.
And they've inserted a ridiculous clause in his contract that is going to allow him to walk to a contender. We've got it on here, should he stay or should he go? Everyone's going to say, oh, he should stay. The comments that he has made in the last 48 hours about it's hard being here, all you know is losing, I want to win, you play rugby league to win premierships, that says to me he's going to go.
Yes.
They're not going to make finals this year. He hasn't played his quota of State of Origin games. That gives him the option to negotiate. And if you have a look at teams like Penrith, like the Roosters, probably, I dare say even the Broncos as well, who have been pillaged and have lost players, they can turn around and go, hang on a minute, let's just keep this spare 800k here, because if we don't get Stefano, we can then ring every player manager and say we've got 800 grand.
Come to us. I'd throw the Dolphins in. They got a couple retiring at the end of the year. They're in a huge trajectory up. I am going to play devil's advocate here. He should stay. They're building something special at the Tigers. Now, given...
How long is it going to take, though?
Well, it's probably 2 or 3 years away. And
it's 2 or 3 years away from getting to the top 8, though.
Yeah. For a bloke to come out and say the comments that he did, that you mentioned, that says to me his mind's already made up. He's gone. Now, we saw him score a brilliant try yesterday for the Tigers, get up and celebrate, and the boy there jumped on him, and it was a good moment. It made me think, geez, I really hope this guy stays at the Tigers. But when push comes to shove, if Penrith come in and say, oh, we got similar money, and we're Penrith, you're going to go.
Yep.
Now, I was very negative on Lachlan Galvin a couple of weeks ago for saying that he wanted out as soon as it got tough. Stefano's a little bit different because this bloke has played Origin. He's played more than 10 NRL games.
And he's paid his dues.
And he's got it in his contract. So, although I would like him to stay because I'm sick of robbing the poor to feed the not-so-poor. And I think Penrith are not so poor. They're very, very rich. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see him stay at the Tigers. Please, Stefano, big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Stick with the Tigers.
Yeah, if you have a look at a player like Stefano, who has been there through the lowest of lows at the Tigers as well, like he is the one player every week that you know is going to put up good numbers, try his ass off, and the losses hit him harder.
Yeah.
I think he's going. I think you're seeing a couple of players from Penrith go to West, and I think you're going to see a couple of players from West go to Penrith.
It's only fair.
Only fair. Now, we've had a third player sent off this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a third Rooster.
What is with Roosters centres and trying to take players' heads off?
Yeah.
We laugh now only because Connor Tracy's okay.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's not really. Cameron Serrato has come out and said he's not in a good way and he won't be playing against Cronulla.
It was a scary moment. It was a horrible shot. Now, I saw some people come on it and say, oh, he's slipping, he's this and that. No, unforgivable.
Let's say this. Yes, you're slipping. As a rugby league player in wet weather conditions, you're going to slip over. The onus isn't on you to get your head taken off, though. Yeah. The onus is on the defender to not take your head off. We saw it in Origin. We saw it with the Dominic Young shot against the Dogs, ironically, last time they played. Yeah. And now we've seen it with Junior Poga. Take Tracy's head off. He didn't bend his back.
No, there was no mitigating.
There was no bending whatsoever.
He got him.
Tracy slipped and he collared him. It was a nasty shot.
It was an awful tackle. Let's call it what it was. It was horrible.
Absolute send off. But I'm sick of this. Oh, he's slipping. It takes no leeway into the fact if you're slipping. If you get hit in the head, regardless of whether you've slipped over on purpose or you fall to the ground, you can't go in and whack someone in the head.
No, and the big difference is, okay, he's slipping, but he's this far low. Yeah. It's not like he's this far off the ground. I can find some mitigating circumstances. If players are almost on the ground and you clap them, but there were none here. This was a straight send-off, and anyone who says otherwise, no. Now, the only way I can see us moving on from this is to kick the Roosters out of the comp.
Yes.
Because they're responsible for 100% of the send-offs. Stats don't lie to you.
I would strip them of enough points to make sure that they're just above Parramatta, so Parramatta is still last.
Oh, yes.
We fixed the NRL every week.
Of course we did.
We do.
Bastard Roosters.
Now, just the final point that we have, Ben Hornby has come out and said that whilst the Rabbitohs are on the way up and they're playing some exceptional footy, and they are playing some really, really good footy, 4 wins in a row, they're going to do it for the rest of the year. It looks like without Campbell Graham, definitely, and young Tyron Munro. Doesn't look like he'll be back either, and that is a huge blow to South Sydney. If they wanted any chance to go deep in the finals, they need to get Tana Milne out of that team.
Yeah, they do.
And out of that team really, really quickly. He's hopeless.
The only bloke who's ever been able to stop Alex Johnson from scoring tries is Tana Milne.
Yep.
Because he just flatly refuses to pass, no matter what the circumstance. Pulling my hair out, and I don't even care about the try scoring record. South are going really, really well. But let's face it, their season's done. Even if they squeak into 8, they're going to get bounced and pantsed by a better team. If you get me a fully fit Campbell Graham next year,
yeah. I think that's the thing as well. They have to look at Ben Hornby would be in constant.
Yeah, I'd say when Bennett said, "Oi, pull the plug,"
or either that, or Ben Hornby's called him and said, "There's a chance that he could play in round 27. He'll be severely underdone, and it might break again." And Bennett's just gone, "Yeah, nah."
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm liking what I'm seeing from South. And
you didn't on the show last week.
No, but they hadn't won then.
Yeah, but they have.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what I said last week, but scrap it. It's all in the past now, Terry. We all make mistakes. I like the new combination in halves. Who could have possibly predicted that would work? And I like the fact that Latrell Mitchell's come back breathing fire from his suspension. The rugby league's better when Trell's playing well, when South's playing well, but not well enough to beat Cronulla, mind you. Terry,
talk to me, Dan.
Time to talk some maroon and blue.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to talk Origin. We got ya.
Got ya. We've literally just written Origin here. So let's see where this goes.
Let's see where it goes. Now, it's going down to Melbourne. Now, I didn't realise that New South Wales had such a good record down there because Victoria is a Brisbane... It's a Queensland state. I hate New South Wales.
Of course they do. They're jealous.
Yeah, no.
They envious.
Yeah. Look.
Too cold.
I have a lot... Like, I think this game's going to be a lot closer. It's going to be a bigger spectacle.
Better be.
Yeah. Now, it's sold out, so they're expecting 96,000 people there for this game.
Still advertising all day during my New South Wales Cup watching.
Yeah, that is... It's going to be huge. I've got Queensland as slight favourites
for this
game here. I think the line at the moment is 1.5.
That makes sense. New
Yeah.
South Wales are undoubtedly stronger, Queensland are weaker with the changes. Mm-hmm. But given they've just pantsed New South Wales in front of their home crowd, Queensland are the favourites.
Yeah, I think Queensland are going to go in this with a lot more confidence. Is what I'll say. I don't think they expected game one to go quite the way that it did,
No.
and I think now that this is just going to lead into their hand.
What about Suoli being called in to New South Wales camp to concuss someone? Like, it was just dumb. I get it. You didn't do it on purpose. But, mate, you just cost us Origin 1. Come pretend to be Reece Walsh. He's walking around like this. Duh, I'm Reece Walsh. He's just sent him to the shadow realm. Just stop doing dumb stuff.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the fact that he
as a Queenslander.
But even still, like, had it been a Queensland player who was a filthy grub, which we're not, because it's you guys who got sent off and not us. But had it been Valentine Holmes that was missing this game, I wouldn't have minded him going being Dylan Edwards in the back,
Look, Edwards is the one I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Duck.
Look, overall, in this, I think this game is going to be a classic. I think it's going to be a
you're
classic.
gonna jump on that,
a classic Origin game.
Okay.
I think it's going to be physical. It's going to be, just tough and up in the middle in this game here. I think points will be at a premium, so I think we'll see some penalty goals in this game
Yeah, I
here.
agree with that. Can I say something controversial?
Oh, you always do.
Now, Liam Martin is 50-50. I'm hoping it's 199 to play. And I would argue that New South Wales are a much stronger team if he misses the game through injury. With Hamoli Olakau'atu coming in and Mitch Barnett coming onto the bench to be a second genuine prop forward option.
If anyone was going to take someone's head off in an Origin game,
It's going to be Mitch Barnett. So for the pure chaos of it all, let's hope Liam Martin misses the game. But he's okay to back up the week after.
But he was interviewed, I think it was on the Matty John show. He was interviewed and they asked him if he was going to play. He said, I'm not training, but I'm definitely playing.
Oh, I don't rate Liam Martin at all.
He's overcome his toe injury. Good
A
news.
toe injury.
Good news all around for everybody involved in this game is that Liam Martin will play and play well. Dan,
Talk to me, Terry.
some top sport tips.
Sweet.
You want some results?
No.
You were shocking last week. I'm currently on 84 points. I can feel this stake.
Good for you.
You're on 77
I'm gonna-
points. Don't spit on that thing. I currently owe $54 to charity. Dan, you owe $63.
Mate, I care.
Yeah, you do. Tristan said he's going to double it. We're going to reach out to the viewers as well.
Yep. Yeah, get some money raised.
Yeah, we'll get some money raised.
I'm trying very hard to raise money.
You are. Let's help you.
See
here.
how many this week.
Wednesday night.
Yep.
Queensland, New South Wales, down in Melbourne. We've done the preview.
Yep. Did we really, or did we
Who
just
you
bag
picking?
Liam Martin? Queensland.
I'll pick New South Wales again.
Cool. Let's do it.
Thursday night,
The decider.
the decider
Historic.
up in North Queensland, Country Bank
Townsville.
Stadium. Queensland somehow won the game in Newcastle. Yep. Get a chance to go up and win the series up there.
Yep.
New South Wales picked a really good team.
Yep. So did Queensland.
Queensland picked an older team. We hear it all the time. Who you picking?
New South Wales.
Same.
Oh, well.
No, I'm not.
I was going to say, that's no fun.
I'll pick Queensland.
Get it done, girls.
Thank you. Friday night, Moneyball game for you and I. The Dogs are taking on the Sharks at the Core Stadium.
Yep.
Look, both teams should be relatively healthy. Connor Tracy sounds like he's going to miss the game. We don't know at the moment.
Yep.
But I dare say from that shot that he will
He's
enter
out.
the concussion protocols, which might see Blake Tough
Yeah.
come back into the team, maybe
Well, they
Blake
got
Wilson.
36 players that could play there, so.
They do. You cannot ever put Matt Burton back in the centres for Drew Hutchison.
No.
It's a no-go. You've got other players who you can put in there. I understand
37.
Montero was out. He might play this week, might not. Who knows? But you can't put Matt Burton there. It's your turn to pick against Cronulla, so I'll leave it. I'll hand this one over to you.
Or Bulldogs then.
You on the Dogs?
Well, didn't you say I had to pick against Cronulla?
Well, I didn't say you had to, but that's just the rules.
I know I will, because I care about the result more, and I'll put $2 in right now. Doggies!
I'll go the Sharks. Why not?
Sweet.
Why not? We've got a pretty good record out of the core. We've got a good record against them, so let's do this. Super Saturday. The Warriors are hosting the Broncos in New Zealand. Two teams completely out of form. One team getting shellacked. The other team licking their wounds, had a bye. hopefully get through the Origin period as well. I'd be very surprised if anyone who plays on Wednesday, someone like Reece Walsh goes over there.
Short turnaround, and it's a long trip.
Yeah.
I'm still picking the Bronx.
Oh God, this is a really, really tough game because over there in New Zealand, no Sean Johnson.
Well, that's a plus.
That is a plus. Yeah, you're gonna have to think they're gonna have to fire up.
This must win. Put it there. If they lose, they're Gonskis, which is why I'm tipping the Broncos.
They've been Gonskis since like round 4.
Oh, there you go. Brisbane.
5:30 up in McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. The Knights are hosting the Eels.
Oh, okay. The newly minted wooden spoon favourites.
This is going to be a tough game. Not only to pick, but it's going to be...
To watch
is where I was going with this one here.
Sorry.
Look, Newcastle at home are always a different beast. Parramatta, look, they're going to be fuming that they had a week off, got 2 points guaranteed, and somehow went from third last to last.
Rugby league.
Rugby league is a beautiful sport. I'm going to tip the Eels.
Yeah, me too. It's weird that you go in as last but be the favourites away from home, but I think that's where Newcastle are at right now. Para for me.
And we round out our Super Saturday down in Melbourne with the Storm hosting the Raiders. Now, Melbourne have got Xavier Coates and Harry Grant out, but the good thing is they don't have to travel.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They
both should back up.
They stay in camp. Yeah, both of them should back up. The Raiders are horrible at this point in time. They're outside the top 8. They've got a massive, massive negative for and against at the moment. I'm almost willing to say their season's done.
Well, I wanted to put them on fraud watch, but we'll just wait.
Yeah, I think after this weekend we'll get the green light to do it. For Melbourne, they are just the most impressive team in the competition at the moment. The way that they just continue to win these games where they shouldn't. And I want to ask you a question right now, deadpan. Look you in the eyes. Is Jerome Hughes the best player in the competition at the moment? And why is the answer yes?
Right now, yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
Right now he is. He's untouchable.
He's good.
I've got another question for you. Is Tyrone Wishart the best 6 in the competition at the moment? Because right now the answer is yes.
Okay, yes then. No, I love Melbourne. I think they'll win this and win this easy.
I think they'll win and win well. Although the Raiders do have a good record down there, but that's going to come to
They're a nuisance.
Now we have a Super Sunday. Super Sunday, but it doesn't start off real good. The St George Illawarra Dragons are playing. Good news is they're playing the Dolphins.
Okay. This could be fun. Hey, look, you don't know which Dragons are going to do.
No, and the Dragons are just on the fringe of getting in the top 8 as well.
Which is a real on the competition.
And the Dolphins have been in the top 4 all year. They now find themselves out of it. They're going to be fired up. The Dragons are going to be fired up. I don't know which ground it's being played at for the Dragons.
Pick one of 26. This is like the no real home ground.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, if you threw the Tigers in it, we could have a triangle.
Let's do that next year.
We could.
Who are you tipping? I'm tipping the other team.
Oh, God, look, I don't want to pick the Dragons. I find it hard to pick the Dolphins. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins.
Dragons in.
Cool. 4 o'clock at Penrith Stadium, the Panthers are taking on the Cowboys. Both these teams give the most amount of Origin players, so they get a good rest here as well. Cowboys don't travel real well for mine, and they have the Chad Townsend tax. Panthers, really good. Jerome Luai is sensational at halfback. Jack Cole's really good. I would imagine most of the Panthers players will back up because they don't play well in Origin. I think they'll win this game and win it comfortably.
Yeah, look, I want to be controversial here, but I can't. Penrith for me.
And to finish the Super Sunday and to finish the round, the Sydney Roosters are hosting the West Tigers. And I don't know what the Tigers have done to deserve this punishment, but it seems that every time they get on a run, they win 2 games in a row because they've only done it twice.
Yep.
They win 2 games in a row, they've got a hard game the week after.
Well, I suppose when you're that bad, every game's going to be hard, right?
Yeah, well, last weekend wasn't. The weekend before that wasn't either.
They haven't played the Roosters, though.
No, they haven't played the Roosters.
Jeez, the Chooks.
Yeah, they're pretty good. 466 points they've scored.
Yep, Sam Walker, the beardless prince. No beard, no worries for young Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it continues.
Yeah, I think they continue as well. They've marched into the top 4 right now as well. So
they're flying.
Ooh. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Comments. Comments.
Likes.
Attention.
We need likes, subscribe. It puts us in front of more people. We can annoy more people.
It does. Makes me feel tingly inside.